Are you over 60 and noticing that your balance isn't as steady as before? Or that your joints feel stiff and your energy runs lower than it used to? These may seem like small warning signs, but if ignored, they can quickly lead to falls, weakness, and a gradual loss of independence. The good news is that in Japan, some of the longest living elders in the world stay mobile, flexible, and strong well into their 80s and 90s by practicing a handful of simple daily movements. And the best part is, you can do the same right at home. I'm Dr. Sam, and for more than 30 years, I've been helping older adults protect their health and preserve their independence. What I've learned is that staying active doesn't require heavy weights or complicated gym equipment. Often the most powerful exercises are the simplest ones, repeated every day. That's why in today's video, I'll share 6 movements Japanese elders practice daily to maintain strength, balance, and mobility, along with a simple 7-day starter plan you can follow in just 10 to 15 minutes a day. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a practical, science-based health tip that could add years of strength, confidence, and freedom to your life. At number 6, we begin with Sampo, the Japanese practice of slow, mindful walking. In Japan, walking is more than just a way to get from place to place. It is a form of daily meditation and gentle exercise rolled into one. Unlike rushed or distracted walking, Sampo is done with deliberate steps, steady breathing, and full awareness of the body's movement. For seniors, this simple habit is one of the most powerful ways to keep the legs strong and the mind clear. From a scientific perspective, walking remains the single most studied and recommended exercise for older adults. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society has shown that regular walking improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and strengthens the major muscles of the legs. Mindful walking, in particular, adds the benefits of balance training and stress reduction. By slowing down and focusing on each step, you engage stabilizing muscles in the hips and ankles, which are critical for preventing falls. The combination of gentle cardiovascular activity and mindful movement also improves brain health, since consistent walking has been linked to better memory, sharper focus, and lower risk of cognitive decline. Practicing Sampo is simple and requires no equipment. Find a safe, flat area such as a quiet street, a park path, or even the hallway of your home. Stand tall, relax your shoulders, and begin walking at a slow pace, paying attention to how your feet connect with the ground. Breathe steadily and try to coordinate your steps with your breath. For example, inhale for 2 steps and exhale for 2 steps. Keep your gaze soft and forward, noticing your surroundings without rushing. Even 10 minutes of this kind of walking can leave your legs more energized and your mind calmer. There are a few important notes to keep in mind. Wear comfortable shoes that provide good support, and if balance is a concern, consider using a cane or walking pole for extra stability. Avoid uneven or slippery surfaces, especially at night. If you experience pain in your knees or hips, shorten your stride and slow down further until you find a pace that feels safe. Consistency matters more than speed or distance. The goal is not to exhaust yourself, but to create a gentle, sustainable routine you can practice daily. Sampo proves that walking doesn't have to be fast or intense to be effective. With steady, mindful steps, you strengthen your legs, protect your balance, and give your body the rhythm it needs to stay active and independent as you age. At number 5, we have Radio Taiso, a daily movement routine that has been part of Japanese culture for nearly a century. Originally introduced in the 1920s and broadcast every morning on national radio, this simple 3-minute sequence of dynamic stretches is practiced by children in schools, office workers before their day begins, and elders in parks and community centers. The beauty of Radio Taiso is that it requires no equipment, no special training, and very little time, yet it warms up every joint, activates the muscles, and wakes up the entire body. From a scientific point of view, dynamic stretching like Radio Taiso offers important benefits for seniors. Unlike static stretches where you hold a position, dynamic stretches involve continuous movement, gently taking your joints through their full range of motion. Research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity shows that these kinds of movements improve flexibility, coordination, and circulation without placing strain on stiff joints. For older adults, this kind of daily mobility work is vital to prevent joint stiffness, improve posture, and reduce the risk of falls. Just 3 minutes a day can increase blood flow to muscles, loosen tight shoulders and hips, and prepare the body for more active movement. Practicing Radio Taiso is simple and enjoyable. The routine usually begins with raising your arms overhead and gently stretching upward, followed by swinging your arms side to side to open the chest and shoulders. Next, you bend forward and backward, rotate the torso, and lightly bend the knees. The sequence continues with arm circles, small jumps or heel lifts, and finishes with deep breathing and gentle clapping to reawaken circulation. If you do not remember all the movements, don't worry. The key is to keep moving, stretching in different directions, and maintaining a steady rhythm for about 3 minutes. You can find recordings of Radio Taiso online or simply create your own version by moving your body through basic stretches in a flowing manner. When practicing, safety comes first. Move within a comfortable range. Never force your joints into painful positions. If your knees or hips are sensitive, keep the bends shallow. If balance is a concern, do the routine near a wall or a sturdy chair for support. Wear comfortable clothing and shoes and focus on smooth, controlled motions rather than speed. The goal is not to sweat heavily, but to loosen up your body and energize your muscles. Radio Taiso is proof that exercise doesn't have to be long or complicated. In just a few minutes, you can refresh your circulation, improve your mobility, and set a positive tone for the rest of the day. At number 4, we have the deep squat rest, a position that may feel unusual for many Western adults, but remains common in Japan and other Asian countries. Instead of always sitting in chairs, many elders naturally spend time in a heels-down squat, resting close to the ground with their hips lowered and their heels firmly planted. This position, though simple, is a powerful tool for maintaining flexibility, balance, and lower body strength. Scientifically, the deep squat stretches and strengthens multiple muscle groups at the same time. Holding the squat position opens the hips, stretches the calves and ankles, and activates the quadriceps and glutes. Research in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy highlights that frequent squatting maintains joint mobility and reduces stiffness, especially in the hips and knees. For seniors, this can be invaluable in preventing the progressive loss of range of motion that makes daily activities like bending, standing, or rising from the floor more difficult. Additionally, maintaining balance in the squat trains, stabilizing muscles in the core and ankles, reducing the risk of falls. Practicing the deep squat rest does not require any equipment, but it does demand patience and gradual progress. Start by standing with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart, toes pointing slightly outward. Slowly bend your knees and lower your hips toward the floor, aiming to keep your heels flat. If you cannot go all the way down at first, stop at a comfortable depth and hold for a few seconds. With time, your flexibility and strength will improve. Try holding the squat for 10 to 20 seconds at a time and gradually work up to 1 or 2 minutes. You can practice this while reading, watching television, or even during short breaks throughout the day. Safety is especially important here. If your knees are sensitive or if you have arthritis, use support such as holding onto a chair, countertop, or sturdy pole to steady yourself. You can also place a rolled towel under your heels if they lift off the ground. Never force your body into the position. Progress slowly and respect your limits. Comfortable clothing and stable shoes or barefoot practice on a safe surface can make the movement easier. The deep squat rest is not about athletic performance, but about reclaiming a natural human posture that keeps the joints open and the muscles engaged. By practicing regularly, even for short periods, you maintain the mobility and leg strength that protect your independence as you age. At number 3, we have single leg standing, known in Japan as ashi, a simple daily practice that might look too easy at first, but is one of the most powerful indicators of health and longevity. The ability to balance on one leg is strongly linked to muscle strength, coordination, and even brain function. In fact, Japanese elders often test their balance by standing on one leg while brushing their teeth or waiting for tea to boil, turning this into a natural part of daily life. Science backs up the importance of this movement. Studies published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine have shown that older adults who cannot balance on one leg for more than 10 seconds are at higher risk of falls, frailty, and even shorter life expectancy. Balancing on one leg activates the small stabilizing muscles in your ankles, knees, hips, and core. Muscles that are often neglected but essential for keeping you upright and steady. It also challenges the brain by forcing it to coordinate vision, inner ear balance, and muscle control all at once. For seniors, this means stronger legs, sharper reflexes, and a lower chance of dangerous falls. Practicing single leg standing is simple and requires no equipment. Stand tall with your feet hip width apart and hands gently resting at your sides or on your hips. Shift your weight slowly onto one foot and lift the other foot a few inches off the ground. Hold the position for as long as you can, aiming first for 10 seconds and gradually working up to 30 seconds or more. Switch sides and repeat. For added challenge, you can close your eyes, fold your arms, or perform the exercise on a soft surface like a yoga mat, but only once you feel stable and confident. Safety is key when performing this movement. Always practice near a wall, sturdy chair, or countertop so you can catch yourself if you lose balance. Wear supportive shoes if you have weak arches or ankle issues and avoid slippery floors. Start with short holds and increase gradually. If you feel dizzy or unstable, stop immediately and rest. The goal is steady progress, not perfection. Single leg standing may look simple, but it is a daily habit that trains both body and mind. By practicing consistently, you strengthen stabilizing muscles, sharpen coordination, and build confidence in your balance, all of which are critical for staying independent as you grow older. At number 2, we have floor-sitting transitions, a practice deeply rooted in Japanese daily life. Unlike in many Western cultures where chairs dominate, Japanese elders often sit directly on the floor, in positions such as seiza, kneeling with legs folded under the body, or cross-legged, and then rise back to standing. These simple transitions build strength, flexibility, and balance in ways that protect independence as you age. Science shows that the ability to rise from the floor without support is a powerful predictor of longevity. A study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that older adults who could sit down and stand up without using their hands had a significantly lower risk of mortality compared to those who needed extra support. That is because floor sitting transitions strengthen large muscle groups in the legs and core, improve joint flexibility in the hips and knees, and train coordination between the upper and lower body. Every time you move from floor to standing, you practice the very skill that helps prevent falls and gives you confidence in daily life. Practicing this movement can be adapted to your current ability. Start by sitting on the floor in a comfortable position, whether kneeling in Caesar, sitting cross-legged, or with legs outstretched. From there, slowly rise to standing. If you cannot stand without using your hands, that's fine. Use them for support at first. With practice, try to reduce reliance on your hands, pushing more through your legs and core. Aim to repeat this transition 5 to 10 times a day. You can also practice lowering yourself gently to the floor and then standing back up, focusing on control rather than speed. Safety is very important. Choose a soft surface, such as a yoga mat or carpet, to protect your knees and hips. If balance is a concern, practice near a wall or sturdy chair, so you can steady yourself as needed. Seniors with knee replacements or significant arthritis should avoid the full kneeling Caesar position and instead practice cross-legged sitting or partial transitions that feel comfortable. The key is to build the habit of moving down to the floor and back up, using whatever variation is safe for you. Floor sitting transitions are not about tradition alone. They are about maintaining the mobility and strength to get up after a fall, to play with grandchildren on the floor, and to keep your independence well into later life. At number 1, we have the towel twist, known in Japan as Tenugui Hibiki. This simple exercise uses nothing more than a towel, yet it delivers powerful benefits for the hands, wrists, and forearms, areas of the body that are often neglected but absolutely vital for maintaining independence in daily life. For Japanese elders, practicing towel twists is a way to keep grip strength alive, making it easier to cook, clean, open jars, and carry groceries even into advanced age. Science confirms that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of overall health and longevity. Studies in the Journal of Gerontology have shown that lower grip strength is directly linked to higher risks of disability, falls, and even shorter life expectancy. That is because your hands and forearms are connected to nearly every task you perform each day, from standing up with support to holding onto a railing. Weakness in this area can quickly limit independence. By twisting, wringing, and pulling on a towel, you engage not only the muscles of the hands and wrists, but also the stabilizing muscles in the elbows and shoulders. This strengthens coordination, circulation, and joint mobility. To practice the towel twist, take a medium-sized towel and hold it with both hands at shoulder width. Begin by twisting it as if wringing out water, alternating directions to work both sides evenly. Then pull the towel tightly as if trying to stretch it apart, holding for a few seconds before releasing. Another variation is to roll the towel lengthwise, hold each end, and simulate a rowing motion, which adds work for the upper back. Aim to practice these movements for 2 to 3 minutes each day. The motions should feel firm but not painful, creating resistance without strain. Safety is important, especially if you have arthritis or joint pain in the wrists. Start gently, using a soft towel rather than a stiff one, and gradually increase intensity as your strength improves. Keep your wrists aligned with your forearms to avoid unnecessary strain, and rest if you feel any sharp pain. If grip strength is very weak at first, perform the exercise while seated to reduce the risk of dropping the towel. The towel twist shows how even the simplest household item can be transformed into a powerful training tool. By keeping your hands and forearms strong, you protect your ability to handle daily tasks with confidence, preserve independence, and support your overall health as you age. Now that we've covered the 6 movements Japanese elders practice daily, the next step is to bring them together into a simple routine you can start right away. The goal is not intensity or long workouts, but consistency. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough to strengthen your muscles, improve balance, and build lasting mobility. Here's a simple 7-day starter plan. On day 1, begin with 10 minutes of sampo, slow mindful walking, and finish with a minute or two of towel twists to warm your hands and wrists. On day 2, practice radio taiso, the 3-minute sequence of dynamic stretches, followed by single leg standing for balance. On day 3, try a few rounds of the deep squat rest, lowering yourself gradually into the position and holding for short intervals. Then practice rising from the floor to stand in once or twice in a safe way. On day 4, return to mindful walking, focusing on posture and breathing. On day 5, repeat radio taiso along with towel twists. On day 6, focus on floor-sitting transitions, moving gently and practicing control. On day 7, keep it light with a short walk, and whichever movement felt most helpful during the week. After completing this first week, simply repeat the cycle, adding a few extra seconds or repetitions as you become more comfortable. Safety should always come first. Begin each session at your own pace and listen to your body. If you feel pain, stop immediately and adjust the movement. Use support such as a chair, wall, or rail when practicing balance exercises or deep squats. Always practice on stable, non-slippery surfaces and wear comfortable shoes or go barefoot if the floor is safe. For those with existing joint issues, modify the range of motion rather than avoiding the movement entirely. Even partial practice can deliver benefits. Hydrate before and after exercise, and if you have chronic conditions such as heart disease, arthritis, or are recovering from surgery, consult your doctor before starting this plan. The most important tip is to focus on habit, not performance. These movements are not about sweating or exhaustion. They are about creating a rhythm of activity that strengthens your body and preserves independence. By practicing a little each day, you're following the same path as Japanese elders who live long, mobile, and fulfilling lives. So here's the truth. Weakness, stiffness, and poor balance do not arrive suddenly. They build quietly over the years when we stop moving the way our bodies were designed to move. For many seniors, this means shorter steps, stiffer joints, and a growing fear of falling. But the example of Japanese elders shows us another path. By practicing simple daily movements, they preserve mobility, protect their independence, and enjoy some of the longest lifespans in the world. The key lesson is that these habits are not complicated or exhausting. They are simple, natural movements that gently work the joints, strengthen the muscles, and sharpen balance when practiced consistently. Together, they form a complete foundation for lifelong strength and independence. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can mean the difference between dependence and freedom, between sitting on the sidelines and living life on your terms. The real takeaway is that you do not need fancy equipment, expensive classes, or long hours at the gym. What you need is consistency, patience, and a willingness to practice small routines every day. With time, these movements ease stiffness, reduce cramps, improve balance, and restore the confidence that aging often tries to take away. So here's my challenge to you. Start today with just one or two of these movements and build from there. Within a week, you'll feel steadier and confident. Within a month, you may notice less stiffness and greater ease in daily activities. Over the years, these small steps can protect the freedom to stay active, connected, and independent. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these practices do you feel ready to start this week? Share in the comments. Your story could inspire another senior to take action. And before you go, make sure to subscribe for more weekly health tips designed to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Remember, movement is not just exercise, it is the foundation of freedom,